on games too. I mean, something you can't bet on. Getting a consistent plot line for this Kenobi series that just ended. Spark it up.
It's right there. But yeah,
Dude,
you know what?
Kenobi season
It stuck
recap.
the landing. Stuck the landing. Okay.
How do you stick the landing when you don't even really jump off the diving board?
Well, okay, humble beginnings for this series. Humble beginnings. Now, it seemed like everybody wanted to jump on Moses Ingram and say that, oh, she, is bad acting, she sucks. And it was a lot of racially motivated hate too. Unjust. Not
we talked about it, but I think she does she acts and she does great.
Yeah,
I just don't think her character in certain situations, especially in the season 6 episode, I don't think they needed. I think they could have cut all those scenes out with Luke and her chasing down Luke.
Yeah,
and just because it was 51 minutes long or something.
Yeah,
and episode 4 was 38 minutes, with basically 34 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You can't stick the landing to me.
If you're doing filler or padding it.
And it's not fair to her.
Needlessly padding, yeah. The thing is, what she was trying to do was she was trying to kill Luke because Luke had killed her family.
So well, obviously, they made that clear in like episode 1.
Yeah, when they show the temple getting raided, Order 66, and all these younglings are just being taken out.
I know they're going to do a spinoff, or they might bring her back for season 2, but I really would have liked to see her character, because when Vader and Kenobi fought in episode 6, and he kept calling him Anakin, and then he finally called him Darth.
Yeah.
What they did with Kylo Ren, they weren't sure, is he going to stay dark? Is he going to stay good? For now, Vader's staying dark.
Of course.
If they don't go to a different, style, like a parallel universe for it.
Yeah.
But I like that aspect of it. So I would have liked to see Kenobi fight Reva and maybe just like kill her,
I thought that's where they were heading. Because
or Darth Maul.
They said that Darth Maul may have come back because he does come back in the Clone Wars. He
does, and Kenobi's way older when he kills him.
Yeah, not way older, but noticeably older.
It would have been a different series though, but it's in the desert of Tatooine, I think, and
I believe so. And yeah, he kills him a second time. His brother Savage Opress is the one who brings him back. And
isn't he killed by Sidious?
I think he is killed by Sidious, and Obi-Wan, once again, best Darth Maul, but Darth Maul was in Solo, remember?
He was, and yeah. I think they cut out a lot of his scenes, but back to episode 6 and Vader, did you like what you saw from Hayden Christensen finally? We got to see his face.
Oh, yeah. I love the battle. The battle was great, dude. And just Kenobi just showing his superiority. The thing is, he got his ass kicked in the early going of that fight, when he pushes him off the ledge and he covers him in rocks.
Yeah.
And then he just uses the Force to get out, and then like that second duel, he just,
so
those life support systems and that costume, then he slashes the mask.
Yeah.
And in Clone Wars, remember Ahsoka?
Ahsoka did that.
Yeah. But Luke has been the only one who's really gotten the helmet off.
Do you think when Anakin or Vader said to him, "You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker," after Obi says, "I'm sorry," I feel like in a way that was him saying, "It's okay."
My fault. Yeah, it was my fault. But I did this to myself.
You know how Kylo Ren is like, "It's too late to Han,"
yeah.
And Vader says that to Luke at one point, but
it's too late for me. Yeah.
When Vader gets Obi-Wan in those rocks in the hole, I don't feel like, especially when Obi-Wan walks away, he should have destroyed him, but he didn't. I feel like
he was defeated.
I don't think they want to kill each other.
No, they don't. They don't want to kill each other, but it's kind of like you're just so far gone now.
Yeah.
Like he said in I think Return of the Jedi or A New Hope. He's more machine than man now, twisted and evil. He's basically
when he's in the suit, I think, but when he's in the incubator, the water chamber, I think that's Anakin to me.
Yeah.
When he puts the suit on,
yeah, it's Vader.
It's like Batman. He becomes the mask.
Yeah, and the thing is, but he's also mentally gone. There's no more Anakin. There's like he said. I mean, Obi-Wan said he's more machine than man. This persona has taken over, and there's no coming back. And he's basically like, well, for now, this is who I am. There's no more the promising Jedi that you knew is gone. I did that. And I think he's accepting responsibility.
And even at the end of episode 6, you hear Lord Sidious talking to Vader saying, there's going to be consequences if you have these thoughts of of thinking about, because you still see he deep down because he tells us to Luke, Obi-Wan was right. And he's just too far in.
Yeah.
He's killed too many, the younglings. You can't come back from that. Maybe he thinks that too.
Yeah. And I've killed children. I've killed, a bunch of people. He even, he killed those sand people when they took his mother.
I would have done the same.
Well, yeah, me too. I mean,
what a badass shot though when he was riding that. I was thinking about when he's riding that speeder, episode 2,
and he just cuts the head off of the sand person, and he's looking for, and yeah, it just goes to show you, his downward spiral, and I think that it was a really good episode. Now, there's been some criticism with this season, in that.
Yeah, so from episode 1 to 6,
they're saying it looks too much like a TV show.
And Kathleen, that's what they're saying, because Kathleen Kennedy said she doesn't want it to look cinematic. What? That's another out. It's like we talked about last week. It's made for children. Okay, you're saying that now because it didn't land. All right. So
how can it be made for children when Darth Vader's just sitting up there just cutting people up,
snapping people's necks with that? So seriously, and we want to see that if you're gonna tease us with that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to show Vader in all his glory. Vader is not a nice guy.
That's something. Instead of Reva, they should have focused more on what Vader's doing and then his other duties. I still don't know, as an average fan watching, if you don't read the comics, you don't watch the series, you don't know. All right, is he going to that planet? Does he make deals with them? How do they make money?
Now that we're talking about it, and I'm starting to think, what purpose did Reva serve? Because the thing is, even though I liked her character, I like Moses Ingram, as the Inquisitors and everything.
So did I.
But you have to think, if this is an Obi-Wan series and it's going to be focusing on him, as the hermit and everything, watching over Luke and Leia, maybe it should have focused more on Darth Vader and Kenobi.
Yes.
In that eventual clash.
Call it Kenobi Vader. Something.
But, because it almost seemed like she kind of got in the way a bit.
She's just doing her job, like we said.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, it's like, and I'm not saying that this is against Moses Ingram, it's the writing. I mean, the thing is, he kind of shoehorned her into this, relationship.
See, because Reva, if they didn't have her character, they could have just made this into an hour and a half or an solid hour, film going to Disney Plus. It doesn't have to go to theaters. Make it you have Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, coming back.
And you got to give Ewan some actors to work with that aren't always, politically correct. No offense to her, but I think they wanted to put a female role, regardless of color, in that, and they wanted that in there.
Yeah,
but sometimes less is more. You could have had her side by side with Vader the whole time. A different type of character. You could have had her going on missions. You could
kind of like a Mara Jade, and that's what I thought that she was kind of portraying there. In that sense that she was, she's overly ambitious. She wants power,
but she has a different purpose. So we figure out what her real. She wants to kill Darth Vader.
Yeah, she wants to kill him because of what he did to her as a youngster.
Do you think he knew the whole time?
Oh yeah, he does, because in the last episode,
episode 5.
Yeah, episode 5. He knew who she was.
But did you think he said that because he sensed them talking?
I think once he found out, I think he knew the entire time who she was. I mean, I just think, because remember, these Inquisitors and everything, and the Third Sisters, they're former Jedi turned evil.
Yeah, so they basically
they know who they are,
and she sees the symbols of the Jedi still here and there. So she's like, "Wait, they're survivors."
Yeah,
she chose the wrong path.
Yeah, she knows, and Darth Vader knows in the back of his mind. Sidious and Darth Vader, conspire to get these people. Because they kind of figure, if we can turn some of these Jedi against us, we'll be even stronger.
What we could make a case for is how they could sell her character being on the show. It gives Obi-Wan peace that Anakin did kill a youngling and younglings, and she made the choice not to.
Yeah, because the thing
so
is
that could give him redemption.
And it gives her redemption, too, because the thing is she almost goes down a
She was in survival mode.
Yeah, and and also she almost kills Luke, and I guess in
they were very careful of not showing Luke the lightsaber. You noticed that?
Yeah.
He was already out so careful of not showing him that lightsaber.
Yeah, and the thing is, it gives her character redemption. Maybe she spins off. Maybe they spin off with her.
That's the thing, though. They could have done a spin-off of her if they made the Kenobi into like a film or a 1 hour film, once a month or something. Give us like 6 of those instead. No fillers. Do a little better on the CGI. Or there were some parts where I was like,
especially the ship.
The ship's angles, even interior. When Kenobi fled to the planet, you could see his seat wasn't strapped in right. Chris Gore was talking about this. If you're on a cruise ship and you have like a little bit of wave action, everything's moving. So the lack of the details in the spots that matter, that's one of the things about the Kenobi series that was not fair for the people like Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, because of the attention lack of detail.
Yeah, because Ewan McGregor is doing everything he can to prepare for that role.
Series,
even his voice for Alec Guinness and balancing that out. Hayden Christensen, after being criticized after the start, and he was a fucking great actor before he got this episode 2.
Yeah, but
he was sixth in line for Oscar nom apparently, but he always gets typecasted in a certain type of role. But
he's brooding and stuff like that, or like the lone wolf.
Yeah, but I don't think he's getting those opportunities. I think he's gonna have. I think he's gonna have a resurgence. I think people are gonna recognize him, and he's a little older, but I think it's just really hard to work on a George Lucas episode 2, episode 3 film. Everything's green screen.
It's not.
George has got everything in his mind.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, the Star Wars franchise is famous for having wooden acting and wooden dialogue.
What does that mean?
Well, wooden acting, kind of like not very expressive, not very emotive. And it's not known for great performances. Alec Guinness was good. Harrison Ford, damn good.
Alec Guinness was a world famous.
He was known before.
Who would you compare him to, like, at their age right now, of who Alec Guinness would level up to? Like, who could you put him in the category of?
Anthony Hopkins.
Shit.
Yeah.
Just because Anthony Hopkins he's Thor's dad.
Yeah. Anthony Hopkins.
Fuck yeah. Great fucking comparison.
Yeah, that's what I compare him to. So the thing is, I mean, look, he got, criticized. He did some movies afterwards. I like Jumper.
I did like Jumper. Apparently that got shit reviews, but he met his wife on that film.
Yeah.
And Samuel L. was in that. He played Mace Windu, who maybe season 2.
I hope we see him, because we didn't see him die. You just saw him blown out the window.
And
I want to see him back.
Apparently it's really hard to kill anybody in the Kenobis. You can just slit someone's head off. You thought you could defeat me by Reva should have been killed. The Inquisitor should have been killed by that. You can get killed by a laser gun, but you can't get when he gets stabbed.
What are the rules?
There are none if you're not Megagani, and that's the lack of detail, I think.
But they leave things open-ended just in case they respond to a certain character, which with Reva, hey, they didn't kill her. I mean, she can now go off and do whatever the fuck she wants.
But like we said, I liked her character. I think she could have a good spin-off or even incorporate into another series. But can we agree that it maybe wasn't? It was more. It got in the way a little bit at times.
Yeah, I mean, it did. I mean, and that's what I was saying. Thinking about it. And since we're talking, more about this, what did it, get in the way of that relationship between Vader? And because I think Obi-Wan knows eventually he's going to see Vader again. He's going to find out who his kid is, where he is, and come for him.
Yeah, because they never explain how Darth knew that he's like, I am your father. Like,
actually, okay, there's some comic books
but
that explain it. And I'll
okay.
The most recent one in I think Star Wars #6, Boba Fett finds out Luke's name and says that his last name is Skywalker.
Okay, but does he know who Anakin is?
He doesn't. I don't think he knows, but he says his name is Skywalker, and Darth Vader they have a panel on Vader where he's looking at. He's like, okay, he's related to me, and he puts 2 and 2 together.
Why do you? Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty much. I mean, there was an article simply about this on.
But this is when Luke was probably older, right?
Yeah, it was pretty much after a little after A New Hope is when these comics take place.
Because I think he would have sensed Leia was his daughter.
Yeah, and I mean,
but he was so enraged with anger
that he just slips his mind.
That scene in Revenge of the Sith with Padme when he could have just not fought Obi-Wan and helped Padme. You know?
And he knew she was pregnant.
Do you think Obi-Wan failed Anakin as a master?
In some ways, you have to remember during this period of time when he's training Anakin, the Jedi are basically, rock stars. And with that comes a certain level of arrogance. That, hey, we got shit under control. Nothing's going to stop us. And I think Yoda even kind of alludes to it. We got arrogant, we got, complacent.
They got stuck in their way. That's why Qui-Gon always kind of went against the grain, played by Liam Neeson. We saw him at the end of it. And
in a lot of ways, and remember in those flashbacks in the 5th episode, Obi-Wan is trying to calm Anakin down. He's saying, like, if you keep on this path, you're always going to be a Padawan. We're here to defend, not kill and maim. Get the anger out of you. And basically, Vader never learns that lesson. He's forever a Padawan. He may have killed Obi-Wan in A New Hope, but Obi-Wan let him do it.
Because he struck him down in rage.
Yeah.
Became that Force Ghost.
Yeah, see?
And I think at this point, after episode 6 of Kenobi, Obi-Wan's pretty confident that he can hold his own.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's more of it's like when you're fighting with just anger and not balance,
you don't see the forest in the trees.
And that's real life shit too.
Yeah.
Make a business decision. If you make a business decision angry,
fighting angry, you make a lot of mistakes.
And you say a lot of things.
Yeah. Say and do a lot of dumb shit you would normally do. So he